Hello everyone, this video is going to be talking about the Labour Party of Britain burning, and I mean burning a stupid amount of political capital on a bill not passed by the Labour Party. Because the fact is, Labour is in power. They could have thrown this bill out. The Online Safety Act. They could have thrown it out and said it's a conservative censorship bill or whatever political nonsense they say. But they are putting their heads into the ground and enforcing a conservative law where they don't need to. They're already burning all of their political capital doing so. Burning all political trust with the younger people that they just gave more voting rights to. People 16 and up can vote in Britain in the next election in approximately 2029-ish, I think? Yeah, 2029, 2030-ish, I think. But the point is that this is not going to get any better. Almost 1 million British citizens have signed a petition to get rid of the Online Safety Act. Meaning the fact that almost 1 million people, 1/86th of their population, is wanting it gone is honestly just laughable. And the fact they're trying to use the argument that it's protect the kids is the stupidest argument ever made. Because the fact is, it is not. Because the fact is, not all websites will be forced to comply. And not all will. Because the fact is that it's not going to work. It is a censorship ploy by everyone besides the British government. And even the British government themselves said, and I will quote, people will go around this like the Chinese firewall. The fact that a member of parliament in your British government made that comparison shows how terrible of a law this is. And it's the entire reason why they're burning so much political capital when they don't need to be. They don't need to waste so much political capital throwing so much wasteful spending, wasteful resources, and wasteful trust of the British public. Because the British public are already against the Labour Party barely a year into their administration. Actually, a year into their administration already. And the fact is, they are already facing the problems of that. And the fact that this is just looking like a abuse of power. And it's no mistake that other parties in Britain are taking advantage of this. To my knowledge, Reform is taking advantage of this and basically pointing the finger at Labour, when Labour could have just pointed the finger at the Conservatives and gotten rid of it. Because they have a whole lot of seats. Sure, it's not the biggest amount of seats they've ever had, for sure. But the fact is, they have had more than enough seats to remove any single law in your country. And they're willing to burn so much political capital on this law, shows that they're willing to burn their administration on a bill they didn't pass. Because the fact is, you are just going to become more and more pariah yourselves. It happened in Britain. If anyone tries to propose this in the United States, as I've looked it up multiple of times, the Kids Online Safety Act in the United States and the Screen Time Act, both of them are dead in Congress, probably because A, Donald Trump won't sign it into law because he's already getting whispers in his ear that it's censorship and, well, it's something that he can run on and say it's a bad thing. And the fact that in your own country you are already having opposition to it. Any politician, if the Reform Party try to make this a issue, you're going to screw yourselves over. And it's going to take a long time to rebuild public trust because you've been out of office for nearly a decade. And the fact you are willing to politically die on this bill, this law, the Online Safety Act that wasn't even passed in your administration, shows that you need to get your head on straight. Because the fact is, it is not helping you at all. Most people in Britain, to my knowledge, do not like the Online Safety Act. It is a abuse of power, it is a censorship, and also privacy concerns. Because the fact is, the Online Safety Act is not popular. And why are you wasting your political capital on something that only makes your country worse? Because the fact is, I wouldn't be surprised if businesses don't even look to Britain anymore. Because the fact is, this is another regulation that is not necessary, not needed at all. And the fact that you're trying to push this so hard shows that it will kick your ass in the next election, or whenever elections will start. You already got kicked in the ass by Reform. I believe it was later this year, to my knowledge. Or I don't remember exactly, but I remember in certain elections that you had earlier this year, you already got kicked in the nuts. Sure, Labour didn't lose a lot, but they didn't gain a lot during that. I'm just going to call it a midterm election, even though that's not what you guys would call it. But the fact that you are already unpopular and you're just pushing yourselves into more unpopularity shows that you're just going to lose the political will. You were voted in to get rid of an unpopular party, and you're going to have the same effect happen the next election unless you change your fucking vote around. Because the fact is, if Britain and the Labour Party attach themselves to this bill / law so much that they're willing to politically die over it, I don't know what to say, because it's going to make Labour not a political party to vote for. Or as much as I don't like to say the fact, because I, myself, even though I couldn't vote in Labour's election, I would have voted for Labour. I voted Democrat in the United States. But the fact is, Labour is pulling itself into unpopularity by defending this law when there's so many other issues they can worry about. Because the fact is, they just made it so 16-year-olds can vote. Think of that. 16-year-olds in Britain can vote by the next election. How many 16-year-olds are going to be pissed off that they cannot watch content they were able to watch a year ago? Just think of the optics of that. It sounds like a bad idea. And the fact that this isn't a tax where you can explain that it is necessary. It is not. And even with your stupid excuses, it is very easy for anyone on any political spectrum to say it is censorship. Because by 99% of people, especially young voters that are going to be pissed, say, yes, it is. And the fact that you are going to pull your party down kind of makes me sad. Because the fact is, Labor have and had a great chance to be popular again. But the fact is, it could be a possibility for the rest of the decade that Labor don't go into power besides this one administration. Anyway, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. And I hope and pray that this censorship racket is not expanding.